Harley-Davidson is being annihilated by a new breed of motorcycles, and their downfall has already begun. Faster and built for a new generation, they're stealing Harley's throne and rewriting the future of riding. In this video, we expose the 10 bikes that are breaking the legendary brand and why Harley will never recover. Starting our countdown at number 10 is the Royal Enfield Classic 350 that brings that vintage charm without the vintage maintenance nightmares that'll have you on a first-name basis with your mechanic and possibly his entire extended family. While Milwaukee's been pricing out young riders faster than a bouncer at an exclusive club during happy hour, Royal Enfield's been welcoming them with open arms and payment plans that won't require selling plasma twice a week. This bike's got that timeless design that makes parking lots feel like movie sets from the 1950s, when men were men and motorcycles were affordable. The J-Series engine is so quiet and smooth that you might actually forget you're riding a motorcycle instead of floating on a mechanical cloud powered by good intentions and reasonable pricing. Meanwhile, Harley riders are still dealing with engines that sound like angry washing machines filled with rocks and the hopes and dreams of their bank accounts. The fuel economy alone should make Harley executives break out in cold sweats and possibly require therapy sessions. When your customers can actually afford to fill up their tanks without taking out a payday loan, they tend to ride more often. Revolutionary concept, right? The Classic 350 also comes with modern touches like LED lighting and dual-channel ABS, proving that you can have safety features without paying luxury prices or sacrificing your firstborn child to the motorcycle gods. The riding position feels natural and comfortable, unlike certain American bikes that seem designed by medieval torture device enthusiasts with a grudge against human anatomy. Royal Enfield has managed to capture the romance of motorcycling without the financial heartbreak that usually comes with it. It's like finding true love that doesn't drain your bank account or require couples therapy every few months. Number 10 is already stealing Harley's customers with shocking value, but number 9 could end the brand's entire legacy. The Yamaha Bolt R-Spec is what happens when Japanese engineers decide to school American manufacturers on how to build an affordable cruiser without requiring customers to take out a second mortgage or consider a life of crime to afford their dream bike. At $9,000, you're getting a 942cc air-cooled V-twin that actually sounds like a motorcycle should, not like garbage disposal having an existential crisis or a blender trying to process concrete. The minimalist bobber styling screams rebellion without screaming bankruptcy, which is apparently a foreign concept in Milwaukee these days, where accountants seem to have more influence than engineers. This bike proves you don't need to mortgage your house to feel like a badass on 2 wheels or require a trust fund to participate in the American dream of motorcycle ownership. The lean profile and aggressive stance make it look like it's already in motion, even when parked, unlike certain American bikes that look like they're taking a nap in the showroom, waiting for someone wealthy enough to wake them up. The stripped-down aesthetic isn't just for show, it's functional minimalism that focuses on what matters: the ride, the sound, and the experience of feeling alive without feeling broken. While Harley's been busy making bikes that look like they belong in a retirement home bingo night, Yamaha's crafted something that appeals to riders who still have functioning spines and bank accounts that aren't completely decimated by poor financial decisions. The 5-speed transmission feels perfectly dialed in for both urban adventures and highway cruising, and the digital instrumentation gives you everything you need without looking like a spaceship dashboard designed by a committee. It's the kind of bike that lets you ride through city streets feeling like a modern-day outlaw without the modern-day debt that usually comes with that fantasy. The air-cooled engine delivers that authentic motorcycle experience with torque that hits like a sledgehammer wrapped in velvet. The piggyback shocks keep it planted even on rough roads, proving that comfort doesn't have to be a luxury option that costs extra. The solo seat design forces you to focus on the pure joy of riding instead of worrying about passenger comfort, which is probably for the best, since most passengers would rather be in a car anyway. Yamaha has created something that celebrates the solitary nature of motorcycling, while making it accessible to riders who don't have unlimited budgets or unlimited patience for mechanical problems. If you thought number 9's brutal Japanese precision was a threat to Harley's future, wait until you see number 8. It's turning lifelong Harley loyalists into full-blown traitors. Here's where things get interesting. The Kawasaki Vulcan S at just over $7,000, proving that good things can come in affordable packages when manufacturers actually care about their customers. This bike comes with adjustable everything, because apparently some manufacturers actually care about rider comfort instead of treating their customers like masochists who enjoy pain as a hobby and consider chiropractor visits as entertainment. The 649cc parallel twin delivers smooth power that won't try to rip your arms off, unlike certain Milwaukee machines that seem designed by sadists with a grudge against human anatomy and a deep misunderstanding of what constitutes a pleasant riding experience. Standard ABS, liquid cooling, and modern tech that actually works. Revolutionary concepts that Harley's still trying to figure out while their engineers scratch their heads in confusion and consult ancient manuals written in hieroglyphics. The Vulcan S is proof that you can have performance, comfort, and affordability all in one package, without requiring a degree in mechanical engineering or a personal relationship with your local motorcycle mechanic. Who knew that was even possible in today's market, where everything seems designed to separate you from your money as efficiently as possible? The low-slung profile gives it that cruiser attitude without the cruiserweight that makes parking a workout routine requiring gym membership and protein supplements. The parallel twin engine loves to rev, offering a smoother, more athletic feel that makes riding feel like dancing instead of wrestling with a mechanical bull that's having a bad day. And let's talk about that liquid cooling. No more roasting your legs at stoplights like you're sitting next to a campfire in July while wearing leather pants. The adjustable foot pegs and handlebars mean you can actually tailor the bike to fit your body instead of contorting yourself to fit the bike's predetermined torture position, designed by people who apparently never actually ride motorcycles. The Vulcan S also comes with Kawasaki's reputation for reliability, which means you can actually plan weekend rides without keeping your mechanic's number on speed dial or maintaining an emergency fund specifically for unexpected repairs. The styling is aggressive enough to turn heads, but not so over the top that you look like you're compensating for something or trying too hard to be noticed. Number 8 is putting Harley out of business with customization perfection. But number 7, it's not just stealing customers, it's rewriting the rules and sending Harley toward extinction. The Honda Rebel 1100 is making Harley executives lose sleep at night, tossing and turning like guilty consciences in expensive suits, while their accountants calculate how much market share they're bleeding to bikes that actually make sense. At just over $10,000, you're getting a 1084cc parallel twin with a dual-clutch transmission that shifts smoother than a politician's promises during election season and twice as reliable. This bike offers cruise control, multiple riding modes, and reliability that doesn't require keeping a dedicated mechanic on speed dial or maintaining a shrine to the motorcycle gods in your garage. The modern bobber styling looks fresh without trying too hard, unlike certain brands that seem stuck in a time warp where Reagan was still president, and people thought mullets were fashionable statements rather than fashion disasters. Honda's proven that innovation doesn't have to come with a luxury tax or a side of pretentiousness that makes you feel like you need a trust fund to participate in what should be an accessible hobby. That dual-clutch transmission is pure magic. It gives you effortless gear changes when you want to cruise and contemplate life's mysteries, or lets you flip to manual when you're feeling frisky and want to command the road like a benevolent dictator with excellent taste in motorcycles. The advanced rider aids keep things both thrilling and safe, because apparently, some manufacturers believe in keeping their customers alive long enough to buy their next bike and recommend the brand to their friends. The low-slung seat and smooth power delivery make this bike perfect for new riders and veterans alike, adapting to your moods like a mechanical therapist with handlebars and an understanding of human psychology. The Rebel 1100 also comes with Honda's legendary build quality, which means parts don't fall off randomly, and the bike doesn't develop mysterious ailments that require expensive diagnostic procedures. The styling manages to be both classic and contemporary, appealing to riders who appreciate heritage without being enslaved by it or held hostage by nostalgia marketing campaigns. Honda has managed to create something that feels substantial without being overwhelming, powerful without being intimidating, and modern without being complicated. It's the kind of bike that makes you wonder why other manufacturers make motorcycling seem so difficult and expensive when it could be this straightforward and enjoyable. Yeah, number 7 might be damaging Harley, but number 6 is absolutely obliterating it in ways you can't even imagine. The Triumph Bonneville Bobber brings British sophistication to the cruiser game at $14,000. Proving that sometimes you need to cross the pond to find proper engineering and design sensibility that hasn't been corrupted by focus groups and marketing committees. That 1,200cc parallel twin delivers 77 horsepower with a soundtrack that'll make your neighbors jealous and possibly file noise complaints out of pure envy, mixed with secret admiration. The single-seat design isn't just for show. It's surprisingly comfortable for long rides, unlike certain American bikes that seem designed to punish your tailbone for the audacity of wanting to enjoy motorcycling without requiring a chiropractor on retainer. The adjustable floating seat height lets you fine-tune your riding position like a tailor-made suit, because apparently, some manufacturers believe in treating their customers like human beings with different body proportions, rather than assuming everyone is built like a generic action figure. Modern TFT display hidden behind classic gauges proves you can blend old-school cool with new-school functionality without looking like a confused teenager trying to be retro, while simultaneously embracing the future. While Harley's been resting on their laurels like they're the most comfortable pillow in the world, Triumph's been busy making bikes that people actually want to ride, instead of just parking in their garage and admiring expensive lawn ornaments. The torque assist clutch makes city riding a breeze, and those bar-end mirrors give it a distinctive look that commands respect from other riders and curious glances from pedestrians. The way the rear fender hugs that fat tire is almost scandalous. It's the kind of attention to detail that makes your heart skip a beat every time you look at it parked in your driveway like a mechanical work of art. Triumph has managed to capture the essence of what made motorcycles special in the first place, while incorporating modern technology that actually enhances the experience rather than complicating it. The Bonneville Bobber feels like riding a piece of history that's been updated for contemporary roads and contemporary riders who appreciate craftsmanship and attention to detail. The build quality is immediately apparent. This is a motorcycle that was designed and built by people who actually understand and appreciate motorcycles, rather than viewing them as mere profit centers or marketing opportunities. Every component feels purposeful and well considered, from the floating seat to the minimalist instrumentation that gives you what you need without overwhelming you with unnecessary information. Number 6 nailed British heritage better than Harley ever could, but number 5 is on a different level entirely. It's the kind of threat Harley won't recover from. The Indian Scout is the bike that's making Harley riders question their life choices and possibly their entire identity as motorcycle enthusiasts who thought they knew what they wanted until they discovered what they actually needed. Starting at $13,000, you're getting a liquid-cooled V-twin that produces 78 pound-feet of torque, without the drama, tantrums, or therapy sessions that usually come with high-performance engines designed by engineers who apparently hate their customers. The lightweight aluminum frame makes it handle like a dream, while modern features like ABS keep you upright when your ego rights checks your skills can't cash and your confidence exceeds your actual abilities by a dangerous margin. Indians managed to capture that classic American cruiser vibe without the classic American reliability issues that turn weekend rides into mechanical nightmares requiring roadside assistance and emergency credit card usage. It's heritage done right, not heritage as an excuse for mediocrity or a marketing gimmick to justify inflated prices that would make a luxury car dealer blush with embarrassment. The Scout line offers multiple trim packages that are all damn sexy, giving riders variety instead of the one-size-fits-nobody approach that some manufacturers seem to prefer, like it's a business strategy rather than a design flaw. The forward controls and relaxed cockpit mean you'll actually want to put miles on this bike instead of treating it like an expensive lawn ornament that requires insurance payments and garage space. The construction quality is obvious from across the parking lot. This is a well-built motorcycle that pays attention to curb appeal instead of looking like it was assembled by committee during a coffee break by people who were thinking about lunch. Customer service experiences with Indian dealerships actually reinforce their reputation as leaders instead of making you feel like you're bothering them by wanting to spend money on their products. The Scout manages to feel both familiar and fresh, honoring the past while embracing the present in a way that feels natural rather than forced or calculated. Indian has created something that appeals to riders who want authenticity without the authentic problems that used to come with it. The Scout proves that American motorcycle manufacturing can still produce bikes that people actually want to own and ride, rather than just admire from a distance while calculating whether they can afford the payments and the inevitable repair bills. But if you think the Scout is tearing into Harley's market, wait until you see what's next. Number 4 is dropping bombshells on Harley that could mean the end of the brand forever. At just over 10 grand, the Moto Guzzi V9 bobber brings Italian style to the cruiser segment, like a well-dressed stranger at a truck stop diner, who somehow makes everyone else feel underdressed and slightly embarrassed about their fashion choices. That transverse V-twin layout isn't just for show. It's shaft-driven, meaning no messy chain maintenance for riders who actually want to ride instead of spending weekends covered in grease like they're auditioning for a mechanic reality show or competing in some sort of automotive cosplay contest. The 853cc engine delivers character in spades, something that's been missing from modern motorcycles, like personality from a corporate boardroom or authenticity from a political campaign. While Harley's been busy making bikes that all look the same, Moto Guzzi's crafted something that stands out in parking lots full of cookie-cutter cruisers like a peacock in a flock of pigeons or a work of art in a gallery of mass-produced prints. There's something undeniably rebellious about the V9 bobber, like a stylish outlaw that refuses to play by the rules or follow the crowd, or conform to what focus groups think motorcycles should look like. The blacked-out exterior and minimalist design ooze Italian charm while carrying the soul of a classic American cruiser, creating a combination that shouldn't work, but absolutely does, in ways that make you question everything you thought you knew about motorcycle design. It's like getting a hand-tailored Italian suit for the price of off-the-rack denim. Sometimes you've got to treat yourself to something that makes you feel alive and reminds you that life is too short for boring motorcycles or settling for mediocrity when excellence is available at reasonable prices. The ride-by-wire throttle and traction control keep things modern without overwhelming you with unnecessary complexity or making you feel like you need a computer science degree to operate your motorcycle. This bike doesn't just ride the road, it owns it with confidence that comes from knowing you're on something special, something that wasn't designed by focus groups and marketing committees who've never actually ridden a motorcycle in their lives. Moto Guzzi has managed to create something that feels both timeless and contemporary, honoring motorcycle tradition while embracing modern technology in ways that enhance rather than complicate the riding experience. The V9 bobber is proof that motorcycles can be both functional and beautiful, practical and inspiring, affordable and desirable all at the same time. If you think the V9 is shaking Harley to the core, wait until you see what's next. Number 3 is the bike that proves German engineering is crushing Harley's lineup forever. The BMW R18 proves that Germans can build better American-style cruisers than Americans, which is either impressive German engineering or embarrassing American complacency. Probably both, and definitely a wake-up call that Milwaukee has been ignoring like a smoke alarm with a dying battery. That massive 1,802cc boxer twin is a work of art that produces 116 pound-feet of torque at just 3,000 RPM, enough to make even the most die-hard Harley fan question their loyalty like a political convert discovering uncomfortable truths about their former party. Starting at 24.5 grand, it's expensive but delivers German engineering quality that makes Harley's build quality look like amateur hour at a community college shop class, taught by someone who learned motorcycle mechanics from YouTube videos. The exposed drivetrain and minimalist design philosophy show what happens when form follows function, instead of following marketing departments and their PowerPoint presentations filled with buzzwords and demographic analysis. For the price of one overpriced Harley bagger, you could buy one BMW and still have money left for gas, insurance, and maybe a nice dinner to celebrate your smart financial decision and superior taste in motorcycles. The R18 is smooth as a baby's bottom, despite its massive size, operating with a refinement that makes other bikes feel crude and unfinished, like prototypes that accidentally made it to production. The nostalgic visual appeal pays homage to BMW's 1930s heritage, while incorporating modern technology that actually enhances the riding experience instead of complicating it or making you feel like you need an engineering degree to change the radio station. The comfort and reliability come from well-thought-out engineering that prioritizes the rider's experience over profit margins and cost-cutting measures that sacrifice quality for quarterly earnings reports. BMW has managed to create something that looks like it belongs in a museum, but rides like it was built yesterday by engineers who actually understand what motorcycles are supposed to do. The R18 represents everything that American motorcycle manufacturing used to be before accountants took over and decided that heritage was more profitable than innovation or quality control. The exposed shaft drive isn't just mechanically sound, it's visually stunning, turning functional components into design elements that celebrate the mechanical nature of motorcycles, instead of hiding it behind plastic shrouds designed by people who think motorcycles should look like appliances. This is engineering as art, function as beauty, and proof that motorcycles can be both practical and inspiring when designed by people who actually care about the end result. But if you think the R18 was Harley's biggest threat yet, wait until you see the number 2. A machine that's obliterating everything Harley stands for in far worse ways than the rest of our list. The Ducati Diavel V4 is what happens when Italians decide to embarrass American manufacturers at their own game. And boy, do they succeed spectacularly, like a master chef showing up to a potluck dinner with a 5-course meal that makes everyone else's casseroles look like cafeteria food. That 1,158cc V4 engine pumps out 168 horsepower, with enough tech to shame a spaceship and make NASA engineers jealous of the sophistication and attention to detail. Cornering ABS, wheelie control, launch control, and a quick shifter so smooth it feels like cheating comes standard, because apparently some manufacturers believe in giving customers their money's worth, instead of nickel and diming them for basic features that should be included in any self-respecting motorcycle. At 27 grand, it's not cheap, but you're buying a ticket to the future of motorcycling instead of a museum piece that celebrates past achievements while ignoring present possibilities. While Harley riders are stuck in the past like time travelers who forgot to pack a return ticket, Diavel owners are living in tomorrow with technology that makes riding feel like piloting a sophisticated machine instead of wrestling with an antique that requires constant negotiation and mechanical sympathy. The razor-sharp lines and muscular stance make it look like it was designed by a mad scientist who fused a muscle car with a MotoGP machine and somehow made it work better than anyone thought possible. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a statement, a middle finger to the idea that cruisers have to be slow, heavy, or boring, and proof that innovation doesn't have to sacrifice character or soul in pursuit of performance. The 240mm rear tire leaves skid marks on more than just the pavement. It leaves them on Harley's pride and reputation, while demonstrating what's possible when manufacturers prioritize excellence over tradition. The riding modes adapt to everything from rain-soaked streets to wide-open canyons, proving that versatility doesn't have to come at the expense of character or performance. Ducati has created something that challenges every assumption about what motorcycles should be, while delivering an experience that makes you wonder why anyone would settle for less. when this level of excellence is available. The Diavel V4 represents the future of motorcycling. Powerful, sophisticated, technologically advanced, and absolutely stunning to look at. It's what happens when manufacturers decide to push boundaries instead of resting on past achievements or relying on nostalgia to sell products that haven't evolved with the times or the needs of modern riders. And finally, we reach our number one, the bike that is putting Harley out of business the most. Meet the motorcycle that is annihilating Harley's entire empire and obliterating any hope of survival. Honda Rebel 300/500 is single-handedly destroying Harley's future, like a wrecking ball through a house of cards, built on overpriced nostalgia and questionable business decisions. Starting at just $5,000 for the 306.5 for the 500, these bikes are capturing the hearts and wallets of new riders that Harley's completely abandoned, like unwanted stepchildren who don't fit the demographic profile that marketing departments find profitable. When you eliminate affordable entry-level options, you're essentially committing corporate suicide in slow motion while watching your competitors feast on the customers you've rejected, like a restaurant that decides to stop serving affordable meals and wonders why people stop coming. The Rebel lineup offers everything new riders need: manageable power, low weight, reliability that doesn't require a PhD in mechanical engineering, and a price that won't require selling a kidney on the black market or taking out loans that'll haunt you for decades. While Harley's been busy chasing premium markets like a dog chasing its own tail, Honda's been building the foundation of tomorrow's motorcycle enthusiasts with bikes that actually make sense for people who want to ride motorcycles, rather than make fashion statements or join exclusive clubs that require trust funds for membership. Young buyers become dads, and dads become old men who have sons who want to connect with their dads, so they become customers of what their dads had. Harley has absolutely missed this generational sales opportunity, like a blind archer at a bullseye competition while wearing a blindfold and facing the wrong direction. The Rebel 300 is ideal for beginners with manageable power and low weight that won't intimidate new riders into giving up before they start or require them to develop superhuman strength just to handle the bike in parking lots. The 500 hits the sweet spot with balanced performance, highly manageable steering dynamics, and affordability that makes it accessible without requiring a significant financial investment that'll have you eating ramen for months while questioning your life choices. The customization potential is enormous, allowing riders to tailor their bikes to their preferences instead of accepting whatever the manufacturer decided was good enough for the masses. Honda's legendary reliability means you can actually ride these bikes instead of just admiring them in the garage while waiting for parts to arrive or scheduling appointments with mechanics who charge more per hour than most people make in a day. These bikes accomplish all this awesomeness without turning into the love child of a Dyson vacuum cleaner and an iPad, maintaining the essential character of motorcycling while incorporating modern conveniences that actually improve the experience. They appeal to budget shoppers and experienced riders alike, proving that good motorcycles don't have to be expensive motorcycles and that value doesn't have to mean compromise. It's hard to find something really unlikable about the Rebels, which is more than you can say for certain Milwaukee products that seem designed to test your patience and your wallet, while making you question whether motorcycling is supposed to be this difficult and expensive. Honda has created bikes that celebrate the joy of riding, instead of turning it into an expensive hobby that requires constant financial sacrifice and mechanical expertise. Which one of these Harley killers surprised you the most? Click that video now for more jaw-dropping motorcycle industry chaos.